Come on Facebook, come on YouTube. Good evening everybody, we are live on YouTube. So let's just flick over to Facebook and see if they've decided to join the party. And they have. Good evening everybody. Oh, that's good. Right, let's just flick back to the tube and say hello to her. Crikey, you've been talking a lot. Hi Rob, Margaret, Di. Oh, bless you. Shell, Anne, Audrey. It is a bit hot. It's hot in here as well. I am currently topless. Sue, Anne, Jan, Shell, Saz, Nina, Paula, Kay. So you're all jumping in, and everybody on Facebook as well. So good evening everybody. What a day. I've never stopped. I've literally never stopped. But there you go. I can't believe it's 7 o'clock already. I'm going to clean my glasses whilst we wait for everybody. And I'll take that little screen off so you can see what I'm planning for tonight. So before we get started, let me just say, I've been busy, because you always know when I'm busy because I'm quiet. So when I got back earlier and I was doing all my prep and doing my posts in the Facebook group, I was looking at how beautiful all your cards are, and I'm like, oh, it makes me dead proud to see all the cards that you make. You're all fabulous. It's lovely. It's lovely to see all the stuff being used. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because I think you're all marvellous. So good evening to everybody. Just clicked into you say I'm top. I am Catherine. That's no mirror card tonight. Nobody needs to see me through the mirror card reflection. I have at the minute, Rob. I've got my computer ones on, and then I'll change them when I get on to crafting. Yeah. So when I was thinking about what to do, I thought, do you know what? We've not used the metallic paints forever, and it's time to get them out again. So we've got lots and lots of new followers who maybe have not seen the metallic paints, or certainly not seen them in action. So I thought, let's do that. Hi to everybody jumping in. The one thing you took from that is that I'm topless, and I have got my shorts on. I don't want to be sticking to the chair, that's no fun. Hi SJ, Christy. I've prepped another card, going to finish it once the bathroom's finished. Oh, bless you. It's lovely. I love seeing everything that you do, everybody. It's marvellous. And for me, as the designer, it's even more nice to see all your different interpretations. So it's fab. I mean, obviously the design team are amazing, but you all come up with things that we've not thought of, which I think is really marvellous. And so that's I just wanted to say that. Karen's driving home. Where have you been, Mel? Don't even think about it, Patricia. It'll put you off your tea. I know, Chrissy. I did make sure I was not using mirror card. Can you imagine? Hi, Jane. Had to sort your computer out to be able to watch. Well, I'm glad you managed to do that. So that's good. So what we're going to do tonight is have a play with the, obviously the new Floral finery. And I can see you've all started getting your deliveries, which is absolutely marvellous. I hope you enjoy them as much as we've enjoyed using them. They're just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think this is the best Floral finery to date, because it's just so pretty. If you haven't managed to get your Floral finery, I will pop Floral Finery 3. I will pop some links on during the live, so you can see them. Now remember last week when I first showed you the sneaky peek and everything, I told you that I'd ordered more than normal, so I've put some by, because there's a history there, there's a pattern there that keeps repeating, and that's that whenever I release the new Floral finery, they literally sell out within a week or two. So I never have any stock to put on my shows for TV, and then we end up waiting until the next release, which is just too long. So I've held some back, only a bit, right enough. So I've held some back to put on my next new release show, which is not next week, it's the show after. But looking at the way these have gone, they're not going to last again, which is marvellous in a way, but not in another way. So there you go. I'm glad you've had your deliveries. Hi to everybody who's just jumping on. So I'm trying to, thank you Jean, I'm trying to get it so that it's really tricky, and you all know this, you've known me long enough. It's really tricky to manage the stock. It's all lovely when it sells out, but I don't ever want it to sell out on my first hour. So since we've been with Hobby Maker, which is actually a year now, I've been testing the water with the stock levels that are required. Now every time I think I've got it sourced, I'm wrong. So it's still a little bit of trial and error. As I say, I don't want things to sell out. I don't really want them to sell out after the 2 hours that I'm there, to be honest, which I know sounds daft, but Hobby Maker do repeat shows overnight, and we get lots of overseas viewers who watch those overnight shows. So I'm trying to make it last for at least a week, but hey ho, we shall see, we shall see. Right, so the card we're doing tonight, we're going to use the metallic paints. Now, I've not used the metallic paints for ages because you all know I'm in love with the chalky paints. Honestly, Chrissy's just said on Facebook that time's gone quick. I cannot believe it's a year. It's almost a year. My first show on Hobby Maker was the beginning of last September. So if you remember, I left CNC in the July. I had August off from TV and that, well, prepping, and then I started at the very beginning of September. So how time flies. Hi Anne. Hopefully. So I'm really pleased you love the Floral Finery because they're just so beautiful. So I've chosen two for tonight's card. Now I have done this format before, so you may have seen me make this format before, but not in the way that we're going to do it tonight, and certainly not with the metallic paints. So it's a whole new idea, and we're doing a DL card, and I had to check. I prepped this demo, which you can see is going to be, it's not going to be an envelope card, you know that. But I got home, we've been to see my mum today, so when we got home I started prepping, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and then I thought, oh sugar, I bet we've not got any of these dies left. So thank you I know Carol, I know, how quickly was that. Hi Lynn, hi to everybody who's just joining. I've just missed something, let me just scroll back, just bear with me a sec. Stop the washing machine disappearing. Let me just read, I need to read this. Everybody's gone crackers for the crackers. That's awesome, Patricia. The cracker was hard work, so I'm glad you love it. Elaine, I can't stop using mine. I think what you need to do is, because obviously we're all enamoured with Floral Finery Series 3. What I need you to do is I need you to get your other Floral Finery. So if you go to the Floral Finery Series 1, which was these, you can see the 3 petal and the 4 petal. So I've done it so that you never ever, the original Floral Finery dies are never redundant. They're never going to be redundant, because every time we do a new release, they're going to make you bring those out and start mixing and matching, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point of Floral Finery. I think it's fabulous. I don't know why I never thought of it before. But yeah, that's Series 3 come and gone, and Series 4 won't be until next year. I think I'm going to save August. I'll probably forget this, you know I will. But I think I'm going to save August for our Floral Finery month, because it seems to be a good time to release them just after the Christmas stuff. Anyway, so back to the card for tonight. So, came home from my mum's, made myself a coffee, came up to my craft room and started prepping. And then I thought, oh sugar, I bet we've got none of these dies left. So, I'm just going to get you a link for these, because there's about 7 left, and then you won't be able to get these anymore. So if you haven't got the Slimline DL rounded corner dies, you need to get them tonight, really. Let me just find you a link. Just bear with me a second. Right, here we go. So when I looked at our stock sheet, we have a shared stock sheet for myself and the shop, so we can check it. Oops, I've just popped it on YouTube. I'm just going to pop it on Facebook as well. Oh, there you go. Karen's not home yet, so it's me doing it. Yeah, so we have a shared online stock sheet that lets me check what we've got in stock. Now, you know me well enough to know that I never ever think about what stock we've got when I'm prepping my demos. I always prep them with the sole intention of giving you inspiration and giving you new ideas. But then I also know that you like to get the things that I've used. So luckily there are 7 of these. Now I'm just going to check with Karen when she gets back, because on the website it's showing that we've got stock of all 4 of the slender dies. Now according to our stock sheet we haven't, and I know that there's only 7 of this one left, the rounded corner double debossed one. Let me show it you before we start. Oh, it's going to mess my pretty design up. So these were the double... Oh, there we go. I've mixed all that up. So these are the ones that give you that gorgeous double debossed edge look. Yeah, with the lovely rounded corner. Anyway, I just wanted to say that before I start, because I know you like to get things before they've gone. And 7, believe you me, 7 is not going to last 2 minutes. So we're going to use the paints tonight. We are going to use them on the flowers, obviously, but we're going to use them, or I'm going to paint the flowers in a slightly different way. So whenever I've done, I'm just going to show you this. So this was one of our online workshop cards that we did a while ago using the metallic paints. Can you see that gorgeous shimmer you get through the stencil? And this is where I got the idea from. And I thought, it's time to have some sparkle. So that's what we're going to do. So traditionally I do the centre of the flowers. We're going to do the tips of the petals tonight. Who's that from, Susan? 7th of the 8th. Waiting to receive a parcel from sender and nothing since. I don't believe it's Phill. You are always on the ball. Yeah, sorry. Is it from Hobby Maker, Susan? It doesn't matter. It's still us that ship it, but things happen, as you know. So let me just take all this off, because it's never going to stay nice and neat, is it? There's too many bits. Too many bits. So let's just show you what I've done for this card. So remember, these dies are proper DL size, so they are 10.5 by 21. Oh, thank you, Donna. 10.5 by 21 centimeters, so they are full DL size. So this one here could be your card blank. So you just need to cut to back it. You could either do it along the long side or along the top side. So if you did it along the top, you know you're going to get a top fold DL card, which I think is just gorgeous. That's got tape on it. Just bear with me. Where's my toolbox? Ow. Here it is. I just scratched my knuckle. It's got marks on it from the double-sided tape, which drives me mad. Especially on white card, I can't be doing with it. Right. So this would make you a full-size DL card. I'm obviously going a little bit bigger because that's how I roll. So I've done the base of my card with the double debossed rounded corner slimline dies, and then I've created 2 frames. Look. So we're gonna create a double aperture. Which it looks really elegant, and it's super easy to do. But we're going to start with the flowers. So I've got a combination here of the Sensational Stamens 3, which are these. I've got some of the twiddly bits, which are staying white. Just move them out of the way. I'm sure there was another one. There should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I've chosen, I absolutely love this flower. Just bring it in and show you. So if you've got Floral Finery 2, where we had the lacy tips, or Floral Finery 1, where we had the full lacy petals, these flowers are amazing when you mix and match them with the other lacy ones. So these are completely different, remember, different lacy parts, different edges, but they look amazing with all the other leafy flowers, lacy flowers. Move the leaves. So once you've got over all the excitement of getting your Floral Finery Series 3 home, and you start playing with your older Floral Finery, just wait, because it's mind-blowing. So these flowers that I'm using tonight, so the foliage I've got is the Magnificent Fronds, which is the perfect name for it. These are just absolutely stunning. So you've got that gorgeous shabby look, and believe you me, let me just show you. This is really, really hard to do, because you can imagine when they're making the dies how tiny these little sections are, and then you've got that lovely piercing detail running down through them. If you haven't got the Floral Finery and you can only get, well, 1 or 2 things, this is what I would tell you to get. Look how beautiful that is. How gorgeous is that? So that is your Magnificent Fronds, which is the perfect name for them. And then the flowers I'm using tonight are the Lovely Petals. So Lovely Petals is the one with the extra lacy parts, but still with the shabby detailing going around it. So just gorgeous, just gorgeous. It feels like we need a thunderstorm. White twiddly bits, what colour are your twiddly bits usually? Now there's a question. Yeah, it's funny, Doreen. Doreen's just saying, must admit, I'll buy from the shop. Because Hobby Maker's deliveries take ages. And it's really strange because the girls at the shop are super quick, as you know. And it's still us that pack the orders for Hobby Maker. It's just that when I'm on a Wednesday, the collection is usually on the Monday. So by the time the couriers have delivered to you, it's usually the following Wednesday or Thursday or even Friday. Whereas when you buy direct from us, especially with pre-orders, so if you pre-order from me on the Monday night, they're all being shipped on the Thursday and Friday, so you get them quicker. Anyway, so we're going to do a little combination with the flowers. Now, at the moment, for now, we've got, let's just see if I can, no I can't. I was going to try and tip this upside down and show you, but I'll do it with the lid on. So at the moment, we've got 25 of the metallic paint. Same as the chalky, there are going to be some more this year. Actually, no, that's a lie. Metallic is beginning of next year. Chalky is end of this year. So these are all the metallic paints. Now these have got a highly concentrated pigment in them, and they come in sets of 5 as always, or you can buy them individually. Now I wanted to do something a bit brighter tonight, so I've chosen the tropical set. Yeah, that's true. 4 weeks, Jean, or 5, I think. Oh, well, that's positive note, Jackie. That's a positive note. So I'm using the tropical set tonight because I wanted the brighter colours, and I was just trying to find you the paints, but I've got lost. I've got lost on my own website. Here we go. So let's just get you a link for the metallic paints, because it is worth having some, even especially if you like the pearly shimmer you get from them. Why is it not letting me do that? Hang on. It's not letting me post my posts. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. And let me just do that on the tube as well, just so you've got them. There we go. So I've posted the link on the tube and I've posted it on the Facebook page. So I've chosen the tropical set tonight because I just love these colours. Now my instinct is always going to be the tealy colour with lime. So I thought we'd change it up tonight. So let's do... does that go? Or does that go better? I'm not using purple. So you tell me, pink and lime or pink and teal? Pink and lime or pink and teal? You tell me. It's time for some vibrant colours. Yeah, I've changed my glasses. I've got the right ones on now. You tell me. I'll go with whoever tells me first. So we're not messing about all night. Hi, Betty. Hi to everybody who's just joined. Pink and blue. So we're going pink and teal. So where that overlaps, we will get tints of purple. Yeah. So remember, these are all from the tropical set. So all the sets that I put together are put together in like workable sets. It just makes it easier for you, so you don't have to worry about trying to find colours that work together. So we are going pink. Well, actually, I've told you a bit of a fib. It's not teal, it's Secret Lagoon. So what we've got here is hot pink and Secret Lagoon. Yeah, hot pink and Secret Lagoon, that are both in your doodah, your tropical set. So we're going to do this all in one go. Now I haven't obviously had time to do any ahead of time, but these paints dry super quickly. Now, top tip, so if you haven't got any of the metallic paints and you are going to treat yourself tonight, these paints, as I said at the beginning, are really highly pigmented. So you only need a little bit. Now, the more paint you use, the more oh, that was lucky. The more pearlescent you're going to get, the more rich, deep colour you're going to get. But you remember to water them down as well if you want. They will last you 20 times longer by watering them down. So I'm doing all these flowers and I'm just going to split them up into 3 petal, 4 petal, because we're going to do them opposites. They're all white. Little ones are all white. 3 petal, 4 petal, 3. There's quite a few flowers on here, which I know won't surprise you. So normally, as you know, I would do the centre of the flowers and it would be fabulous. Tonight we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do the tips of them. So what we're going to do is, because we've got the lacy tips on here, we're going to come down to about there and leave the centre of the flower white. And we're going to do two-tone. So I'm using my stipple brushes because I just find it easier with the stipple brushes. Oh, there you go, Emma. Going to use chalky paints though. Well, I mean, Emma's just saying on YouTube, very interested in this demo. I'm just making an engagement card with these dies, but struggling with colours. I was going to use chalky paints though, may change my mind after this. So, the metallic are really, really beautiful. So I'm just going to shake these up. It depends what kind of finish you want, which is why I always say it's worth having a bit of everything and then you can choose, can't you? So if I just show you the lid of this, you can actually see the shimmer just by what's in the lid. Yeah, so remove that. Where's my wipes? I don't know why I'm cleaning my finger at this stage, because you know I'm going to get more on me. And then with the ocean mist, and you know, you can see how creamy these paints are as well. Ooh. Ocean mist. So we're going to do the 3 petal ones with pink, and then the very tip of them with the ocean teal. The 4-petal ones we're going to do ocean teal with the very tip of them being pink. So it just makes more sense. So I am going to do what I've just told you to do. And I'm going to create a diluted paint. That's far too much. Far too much. I'm going to create a diluted paint on my mat. So that is going to give us a watery version. But when it's dried, it's going to give us the pearlescent sheen. So it's a win-win. Now I won't use too much water because I don't... Oh, look at that. I don't know whether you can see that on your screen. But that is shimmering away like nobody's business. Nobody's business. So I'm going to do the tips of these down to about halfway. I'm not going to... no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to dilute this. So the reason I've done the stipple brushes is because I like the little bit of texture you get from this. So it gives you a little bit of a shabby look without having to work at it. I've used far too much paint. Far too much paint. But I have got the stenciling to do as well. So about 3/4 down the petal, as opposed to the end of the petal, which is what we usually do, the inside, the middle of the flowers. So this will give you a different look again. It's really quite easy. Just changing the subject, I don't know whether you lot are into this, but have you been watching Wednesday on Netflix? Wait, I'm just going to show you this. I've got to show you this because this is watered down paint. Look at this. Are you ready? Look at that. This is watered down paint. You need the tropical set in your life, everybody. And Karen, if you're watching yet and we haven't got any tropical left, forgive me. I didn't check the paints, so I've got no idea. And the other bonus of this, the same as the chalky paints, it dries quickly. The other thing with these is you can use them on grey board, MDF, cardstock, acetate, if you allow it to dry long enough. Just about anything you can use these, even porous surfaces and non-porous surfaces, you can use these paints on them. So about 3/4 down, just loosely. I'm not being too pedantic. As long as the centre of my flower is white. So we'll move on to the teal, the ocean mist, sorry. And so we'll move on to the ocean mist. For those of you who are new, who are watching me, and you're quite new to us, at the beginning when I shook the paint pots up, so at the beginning when I was doing this, it wasn't so much to mix the paint, it was to get some of the paint on the lid. Yeah, so it's to get some of it stuck to the lid. I very rarely, if ever, use the paint from the pot. So let's just do the same with the ocean mist. This is a gorgeous colour. Just gonna put a bit. I don't know why I put a bit more on because I don't need it. Why did you do that, Mr. Martin? So 4 little sprays. Oh, look at this colour. Can you see the shimmer in that? That's just amazing. So the same again with the 4-petal flowers. So 3/4 of the way down. This colour is lush. The tropical set is lush. It really is. Now, I know what you like because we're all the same. We all instinctively go to the metallic sets like your silver, your gold, the copper. But look at these colours. And what a welcome change after we've just been doing all these Christmas projects. Oops, went too far there. And how little paint I've used. It's time for some new colours. Now I know Saz is waiting for a specific colour. I've got it on my list. So I just find stippling easier to control. It doesn't matter if you get a little bit further down the petal or whatever. You can't really do this wrong. Anybody can do this. And I'm just going to quickly bring you one of these side by side so you can see the shimmer that we've got on these. And just wiggle it about for you. Look at that. Look at the shimmer, 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 shimmer. Oops. And that is dry already, by the way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the tips, the very tips with the opposite colour. So we'll move on to the teal, the ocean mist, sorry, onto the very tip of the hot pink. So we know we're going to get a little tint of purple coming through. But the good thing about these paints is once it's dried, you see two very distinct colours. Let me just show you, look. Can you see, look? Oops. Trying to wiggle it for you. How pretty is that? And I'm just going to speed through the others because nobody wants to watch me doing this forever. So just the very tips. I'm not being precise. It almost reminds me a bit of a fuchsia kind of colour palette. And although these are going to go, you can actually see that it's still ocean mist rather than purple. If you allow it to dry, the colour you put on top will stay true to itself. If you mix it when it's wet, which I'll show you in a minute, if you mix it when it's wet, it will create a secondary colour. Now you know this is my thing. Anything you can do with flower die cuts, I'm there. So that's the doodahs. That's the I need to just put a bit more water in that. That's the ocean mist on the pink, and now we'll do it the opposite way around. So you can see I've kept the flowers to their own colour palette. So all the 4 petal ones are pink on ocean mist, all the 3 petal ones are ocean mist on pink. Same but different. And this looks so good. So we've taken plain old white cardstock and made something really rather beautiful with it. This is my comfort zone, and this, remember, I'm going to keep saying it, is watered down paint. This is not even direct from the pot. And they last for ages. Obviously, if you're going to paint a great big canvas, they're not going to last as long. See if I can just get the last bit done. No, I need a little bit more. Don't worry, I am going to use this. Just run out for the last 2 flowers. How typical is that? And let's just show you. Oops, sugar. I don't know why I worried about that. It's covered in gesso. So let's just show you the difference, because they are very different. Look. So ocean mist with the hot pink on top. And then you can actually still see the colours are quite true. And then hot pink with the ocean mist on top. Right, we're going to pop them to one side and let that dry. Oh, no we're not. We're going to do the stamens. The stamens are going to be individual colours. There should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll have... Let's just get a bit more water on that. I'll have 2 ocean mist ones. No, we'll have 3 ocean mist ones. You've just seen me dilute this again. I can see the sparkle already, just even though it's wet. And then 2 pink ones. And this is just purely to break up the duo colour. All will become clear when I put the card together. Right, so remember my top tip, when you're using water, just move them away from the wet bit and they'll dry quicker. So we'll pop these to one side and just leave that for 10 minutes to dry. Oh, don't do it, Phil. I nearly did it. I nearly stuck these in front of the fan. And that would not have been very funny. Right, what's happened to my rug? There we go. Back to normal. Right, so we're going to come back to the card now. So we've got here the frames, remember. So these are the 3 layers that we've created for this card. So the base and the 2 aperture frames, one with the larger aperture than the other, so that we can layer them up. I'm trying to see if I can reuse any of this. So we're going to start with the biggest piece, okay? Oh, in fact, let me draw a breath. I ain't shut up for 10 minutes. Not in a creepy stalker way. It is very fuchsia, and I think maybe Georgine, because Georgine's really good at making flower shapes. I think you could probably make these look fuchsia-like, the 3 petal ones particularly. You just need to shape them. I ain't got one. I've not got one. Let's see if I've got one hanging. No, I haven't. Oh, let me just show you this as well before we move on. Let me just show you this as well. So silver mirror card flower look, this was left from one of my demos. So silver mirror card demo flower. I think it needs to be a little bit thicker, so let's just mix a bit more on. I don't think I've ever shown you this before, which is most unlike me. Oh, it needs to be thicker. Which is most unlike me. So remember, we all know that mirror card is not porous. It resists. But what we've just done is changed it to pink mirror card using the metallic paints. Isn't that clever? I'll leave that to dry and show you once it's dry. Anyway, moving back to the layer, the base layer of this card. I want to do the stenciling through this, but I don't want to get the stencil all the way to the edge. So when I find my Scotch tape, I'm just going to stencil the edge, because this is going to be the back of the card. Neighbour's favourite flowers are weeds. Well, mine would be if I didn't have a gardener. So I'm going. Let's just see how far in I need to go. So basically, it's the width of the. It's almost the width of the tape. Let me just check. Yeah, so that's perfect. Perfect. So it's almost the width of the Scotch tape. And this just means I don't have to worry about the stencil going to the edge. I know it's a bit frivolous with this tape, but what's the point in having it if you don't use it? So just covering up the edges. We could obviously have cut another one and layered it up. So I've now got the Scotch tape all the way around the outside. There you go, you can just see that. All the way around the outside of that layer. I'm just going to double check that I've not come in too far. I haven't. And then we're going to bring the stencil in. Now when I was looking through the stencils earlier, it took me 15 minutes to, 10-15 minutes to decide which stencil to use because they're just too good. And I thought, oh, I've not used this one for ages, and this is a relatively new one. This is the beautiful Fanfare. So I chose this one because it's got a lot of open space. So it's very delicate, but it's got lots of open space. Now I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm just going to do some random. Now we're going to use this paint that's on here, but just remember, if you're going to have a go at this, we've watered this down, so you need to make sure it's not too wet for the stencil. You don't want it running underneath. Now this one should be fine. So I'm doing the same thing again. We're going to do just some random stippling. Now if you're stippling and it's too wet, it's going to run underneath. So let's see how I've done. Let's see if I've managed to do it without getting it everywhere. So we are doing two-tone, but I'm doing it without mixing it too much, if that makes sense. Let's just have a little bit up here. Now I can see the shimmer on this paint already. Oh, that's gorgeous. And then we'll just move it down and do a little bit on the bottom as well. So I can line it up, reposition it, look, and then just do a bit more at the bottom. If it's too wet like it was there, it'll just seep underneath your stencil, but it's not a big deal. It's a background, you're not going to see all to this. A little bit here. And I do prefer stippling through the stencil rather than, yeah, that's enough, rather than using a sponge. I'm just going to clean this off, because although we are going to use a different colour, I don't want it on there just yet. And I know what you're saying, I could have reused that paint, but I'm not. So the only reason I've cleaned it is because I don't want it to mix too much before it's on the card. I'm trying to keep two distinct colours with a little bit of overlap. So I know that I need to make this a little bit thicker. Look at all the bristles falling out of these. That's why I only buy cheap ones. Just need a little bit of water. There we go, that should be fine. Now remember, you can go back in with these stencils and line them up, which is exactly what I've done there. So we're going to do a little bit of overlap and a little bit with just the colour on its own. So we can see two distinct colours with just a little bit of overlap. I love this stencil. You're going to get fed up with me using it. Oh, that's so good. Let's just line that up. So remember, this is going to be the backdrop to the card. That's perfect. Lovely jubbly. Oops. I'm going to use that now. I'll just get... let's do it on here. These bits were scrap from earlier. So these two bits here were the waste from the apertures. So let's just do a negative. Let's just do a negative. Put a bit more paint on. Put a bit more on. missed it. Let's just miss that. And let's just pick that up. Try and keep it straight-ish. Fabulous. Let's try and do the bottom half. Marvellous. And we'll leave that to dry, and then I'll show you how it looks once it's dried. Where's the other one? Let's get the pink paint on here. I'm only doing this because I know I've done with the paint. Hi Lorraine in Mansfield. Lorraine, you could have come for a coffee, you're only up the road. Oh, look at this. And let's just finish that off. I told you this stencil were fabulous. It's a little bit Art Deco. Oh, that's a shame I've got the lines on it, but look at that. How fab is that? So I'll leave that there and we'll have a look at them once they've dried. They can go in the water. Lids can go back on. And I'll draw breath for a minute and get a drink whilst I clean up. Another bonus, look, water-based, so they clean off really easily. Now some of the stronger colours might stain your stencils, so don't stress about it, because they are really highly pigmented. Remember I told you that at the beginning. Isn't that a gorgeous stencil? Do you know what? Saz, have you got this? You need to run it through an embossing, run it through with the embossing mat so I can see what that looks like. So that's my stencil, and nice and clean. Right, we are good to go. Right, so let's just peel that off. That's dry already, that, so I don't need to worry about that. So I can just peel that off. Just in case you're wondering and you think I've lost the plot, remember I did that because I didn't want the stencil to go to the end. Yeah, that's why. That's going in the bin. I know that's very frivolous. Have you not got an embossing mat? Yeah, I have. What I haven't got, Patricia, is time. Chris is saying she's got rain. Oh, Karen's home. No rain here. It's just very, very humid. Very humid and very sticky. Right, let's start getting some of these layers put on. Ordering that stencil, I don't blame you. It's called Beautiful Fanfare. In fact, let me get you I haven't blamed Jean for anything yet, no. What is this set in the silver flower? Despine is asking. It's the one that I'm using tonight. It's the same one. Oh no, it's not. Oh, I can't remember. I'll have a look for you at the end. Let me start putting this card together. Yeah, the tape is good, Kim. Do you know what annoys me though? When it leaves dirty marks on your card. Right, so just so you know, remember we know that this is 10.5 by 21. The first layer is 11 by 21.5, and the actual card is 22.5 by 12.5. So I've gone bigger, which I know won't surprise you. I know you won't be surprised by that, but I didn't need to. I could have just stayed as we were. I can't blame Jean for anything yet. In fact, Jean's made some pretty cards. I've seen him in there. It's true, Donna. Donna's just put, you can tell you don't have to pay for anything. Funnily enough though, Donna, is stock that I've taken from the shop, so in a roundabout way I have paid for it. Just maybe not in the conventional sense. So top tips when you're using strong colour. So these are clearly two quite strong colours. So we're going to balance it with white. Now, you know I love white cards. The directors love me at TV. Don't matter which channel I was at. They just love me because I like white cards. Where's my pokey tool? Oh, I've been doing half a job. I'm sure I had one on the desk. Not to worry, I've got about 15 in that toolbox. Oh, my shorts are stuck to me. That's not a clever look. So we're going to start from the base and work our way up. So I'm just leaving the flowers to the end. You'll notice that I've left the leaves white, and I've left the small flowers white also. So because this is going onto my card base, no glue. See if I can get that straight-ish. This one is also, no it's not, this one's going on glue. Oh, hang on a minute, let me just get my act together. Yeah, this one's glue. So this one's flat. That's dry already, by the way. Let me show you the shimmer. There you go, look, you can see that shimmer really well. And remember, watered down paint. Watered down quite a few times, as you saw. So I'm gluing this one on so that it's flat because the frames will be raised. So what I'm going to do with this, because I know it needs some weight on it to keep it flat, is I'm just going to pop this over on my other desk. I'll pop a couple of these die sets on top. And that will just weigh it down, and I'll have the glue to set. Sorted. Right, so for the frame, now when I was prepping I couldn't decide what to do with the frame because this is a double aperture frame, yeah. My instinct was to paint the larger one for the bottom, but I'm not, because there's going to be plenty of colour from the flowers, from the paint on the flowers. So again, so it's just about balance. And I love doing double aperture frames. It looks so elegant. So it's given us two layered apertures, which just looks really classy. It's details. Is that glue? It is glue. Let's just turn that the other way up. Yeah, it's very overcast here. Look, I don't know how I've not got a migraine because of the weather, but there you go. I've not answered any questions because I've not seen them. I've been miles away. I've lost my dog. Jean's fingers have got Tourette's. Oh, Jean. Oh, Jean. Did someone answer Tina's question? Let me just scroll back and see if I can find Tina's question. I've been miles away crafting, so let me just... Tina, can someone tell me the best glue to use on the sentiments, as I find it very fiddly? Well, you know what I'm going to say, Tina. Which sentiments, Tina? Tell me which sentiments you mean. The die cuts. Gee. Oh dear. Let me just see if I've got a thinner. See if I've got... Oh, that's 3mm, which is higher than I wanted to go, to be fair, so I'm not using that. I'm just going to chop this up. So it would be my glue. I only use my glue though, so... But that's the only one that I would tell you to use. I don't know whether you've... Tina, are you new to us? Because if you've seen me before, or if you've seen me on TV, when I've got fiddly sentiment dies, I usually scribble some glue or use my brush glue, the glue with the brush in it, and then just dab in the delicate part of your sentiment die, and it stops you getting too much glue on there as well, so they don't go limp. Nobody wants a limp one. So this is obviously being raised on phone too. It's true, Karen. I should say this, you know, in fact, Chrissy or Jean, one of you can tell me, next time I'm on Hobby Maker and I tell people about the Facebook group and I say, but you do have to answer a few questions, otherwise it won't let you in. I also need to add to that statement, it helps to be as mad as a box of frogs as well to join our group. I think that would be hilarious. Ooh, that was more luck than judgment. Nearly done. And then we're just going to pop this frame on and get it glittered. So normally, as you know, I would probably have this done ahead of time, but I wanted to show you this. So what we've ended up with, look, apart from the mucky marks, is we've got that beautiful double deboss detailing from the die, and then on the inside we've got a larger section, so it's bigger than the frame, that's plain, and it looks really, really elegant. Can you see the double D? There you go, look. How about that? Love my double Ds. Love my double Ds. In fact, I think we're overdue some new double Ds. I'm going to add that to my ever-growing list of things I want to do. So let's just get this on. Oops. It's true, Doreen. It's absolutely true. But you know what? We're only here once. If you can't have a bit of fun, you're in the wrong group. Right, so I'm going to put this frame on, and I'm really mad because I've got a little bit of paint on there, look, can you see it? So I'm going to pop this frame on. I mean, that looks quite pretty, just like that, but this is now going to frame that. So this is why I chose the beautiful fanfare stencil, because it's a lovely pattern, but lots of white space, so it works really well. So I'm just going to pop the glitter layers on. So talk amongst yourselves, go shopping. Just while I'm doing the layers now, I'm just going to show you this because I do things without even telling you. So remember when I put that first layer on, it was unnecessary. It's not an essential layer. So you can see the gap between the first die cut and the edge of my first matten layer, and that is because I don't want to cover that debossing, that double debossing. So I know that I'm going to glitter the first layer, and then I'm going to glitter the inside of the frame. So let me just, oops, he says, getting the glue everywhere. So let's just get the glitter on, and then we can turn our attention to the flowers and start putting them together. And the sentiment, just whilst I'm gluing this, everybody who's watching, to save me having to think, you can see what colour the paints are. Can you suggest an ink pad for the sentiment that will coordinate with these? Not peacock feathers. Peacock feathers is too green. And then I'm going to do the inside of this aperture. So a little bit of glue for the inside of the aperture. So what that means is I'm not going to cover up that beautiful double debossing detail from the dies with glitter. So it all adds to the finished effect. I'm just going to say this again, everybody, because I think people have been buying the rounded corner dies. There were 7 left when we started. I don't know how many are going to be left now. I'm going to show you again in a second. So let's just get the Diamond Dazzle on. Oh, I brought the cards in from the card that I made on TV as well. I brought them in to take photos, but I hadn't had time yet. So I'll show you in a minute, or when we're finished. Oh, sugar. It's on my finger now. So a little bit of Diamond Dazzle. I'm absolutely covered in it. Could be worse. So that's where we're at, look. So we've got the Diamond Dazzle layers on the aperture and on the outside, yeah. We're going to bring the flowers in. Uncharted Mariner, yeah, maybe that'll work. Might be too dark. Broken China, picked raspberry, broken China. Flowers. So these are all now completely dry. I'm just going to pop these in order because I know that I've got some that are single and some that are double. And you will understand in a minute what I meant about colour. This will be balanced quite nicely. So that's a double, that's a double, that's a double. They are single. They're all single. In fact, let me show you this because you've not seen these. Tropical paints. Tropical metallic paint. There we go. And now I need my foam mat, which is here somewhere, because I saw it earlier. And of course it's underneath all this. This is one of my new ones. And I'm just using white pearls for this. keeping the centre of them white. Well, actually I'm using porcelain shimmer. Right, so these are obviously really easy to shape. Wrong side. It will take me a couple of minutes and then they will be done. I'm just going to do my doubles first and then all the rest are single. This is the wrong tool, bear with me. Not like me to get my tools mixed up. That's it. This is the one. So double these ones up. Oh, these are so pretty. And I must admit, the colours look lovely together. I would always probably go for the lime with the tealy colour, but this is a lovely change. Let's do these single ones. I will read your comments later just so I can check what you've said to me, or if you've asked me any questions. I usually read them when I've got a fresh coffee. It's been lovely to play with the the metallic paint. Mermaid Lagoon, yeah, Mermaid Lagoon. I'll try them in a minute. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm assuming it's double D's, but not the same as my dyes. So white pearls in the centre, and I've chosen the porcelain shimmer because porcelain shimmer has the little iridescence in it, so it will pick out the colours. There you go, you can just see that, the AB in it. It will pick out the colours from the flowers. Porcelain shimmer. No glitter going on the flowers. It's nice to work with the metallics because I use the chalky paint so often. It's nice to get that lovely shimmer finish for a change. It doesn't need loads of glitter, to be fair. And then we'll just move on to the 4-petal ones. So double these ones up. These are the I forgot which one's the word. That's shocking, isn't it? I can't remember what my own things are called. It's getting harder to find names for things that are not the same. Lovely petals. These are the lovely petals, these flowers, which are the shabby ones with the lacy tips. And it's all random as well, which is quite nice. Well, you all know me well enough to know I find random harder than symmetrical. So when I'm doing things like this, look, putting the holes in these flowers, can you see that where I've trailed down? You can even see, look, they're not the same as them. I find it harder to do random than I do symmetry. Not symmetries, symmetry. Let's just get these put together. Hey, we're doing well. It's only 8:10, and I've done this all from scratch. Oh, it's a gorgeous colour combination. And then pearls. Welcome change to use these. Like I say, if you haven't got any of our metallic paints, treat yourself to the tropical set. Remember, you can dilute them and water them down, so you can make them paler. You can mix them together as well, which I forgot to do for you, but you can mix them together to create new colours as well. And then just these individual. I've got some little white ones that are left white. So let's just get them done at the same time. I've kept these ones plain white, again, for balance. I do love my pastel colours, as you know, and the chalky finish. Oops, but this is, poor thing. But this is a nice change. And then we've just got the stamens to do. Bear with. As on the only says. And then 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Almost done, and then it'll just take me half an hour to put the flowers on the card and the sentiment. Oops. I do say oops a lot. I've trained myself to say oops instead of the word that is actually in my head. Did you all see the oh, it's in my trolley. I'll see if I can go and get it for you in a minute. The slate coaster that Sue did for me, that Nigel gave me on air. It's awesome. And the last one. So let's just have a look at that load of prettiness. Can you see the difference in the colour palettes? Look, same two colours used, but completely different looking. How fab is that? So put the lid on the pearls. Get a drink, Phil, because you've never shut up for an hour and 10 minutes. Don't forget the silver pink one. Silver pink one? Silver pink one. There's only so many words in that. Do you know what? I've exhausted all the words for the flowers. These are on the website. Now remember, this is something that I did in a previous life, so we bought all the stock that they had, so you need to, you can't get these anymore. You'll need to get what we've got. And that thing they gave me on TV, because I forgot mine, was just rubbish. I don't know what brand it was, but it was rubbish. Oh, I forgot my stamens. So these are just going to be little fillers, and these will have a 5mm pearl and glitter around the edge. The problem with the stamens is trying to get the centres of them small, because when you start putting lots of different lines in to create the die shape, it makes it chunky in the middle, which is a bit of a pain. So the little stamens, I'm not using them as stamens tonight, I'm using them as extra flowers because we can. Actually, I think I might put 8mm. No. Oh, Ooh. Do you know what I am? Nobody ever uses the 8mm pearls, and yet I really like them. Oh, that's lovely. They're going to stand out now next to the other flowers. I'm not glittering the ends of the stamens, leaving them as they are. Oops. They're a bit like, I don't know, they remind me of something, but I can't think what. Right, so the foliage and the twiddly bits are staying as they are. I'm just going to put pearls on the end of the twiddly bits. I'm not glittering them. I'm going to leave them as they are, but I do want a little pearl at the end of them. And when I've done this, I'm going to get you all the links you need again before we start putting this card together. I'll get the ink pad whilst I'm up. We knew the twiddly bits would be popular. We all knew as soon as I showed the design team, because you know I do like a good twiddly bit. They're perfect for, well, just about anything, any theme, any project, any of the flower dye ranges. It really doesn't matter, they'll work with absolutely everything. Right, so let's just pop them on there. I'm just going to shape the foliage. Remember, I'm leaving it white on purpose. I'm just going to shape the foliage. And this is another reason why I love these magnificent fronds, because we've got so many different dyes in it. You've got 10 in there, 5 left facing, 5 right facing, and they obviously you've got the 5 frond, the 3 frond, the 2 frond, and then individual leaves, so you've got something for just, well, everything. I think there's one, no, that's right, 4 and 2, and then my twiddly bits. So these are all staying plain white, no glitter, not even on the tips, just staying as they are. We'll do the sentiment, which is going on this little banner. And I am going to use my rustic just saying sentiments when I find where I put them. I'm pretty sure I brought them in. Oh, that's them, by the way. I don't think we've got any of them anymore. Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Just bear with me. Where have I put that in there? That's what I'll have to do. Magnificent moments, words of inspiration, and from the heart. So this is from this die, which is the deboss stitched flags and banners. I don't think you can get them anymore. I forgot what colours we said now. Picked raspberry and something. Mermaid Lagoon. Where are you? Mermaid Lagoon. It's obviously not a colour I use a lot. Oh, Broken China might be better. Mermaid Lagoon. I am going to go for this colour rather than the pink. Let's see which one's better. think it might be broken china, you know. Yeah, it is. I know without even looking it's broken china. Yeah. Broken china, it is. Yeah, the foam stamping mat. Just put stamping mat, Rob. After the sprigs, these leaves are your favourite, yeah. I think any other links. So can you put me the link on for the rounded corner DL dies, please, Mel? The tropical metallic paint set and the stencils. I've done it once. Let's have a look. What shall we have? I want a long one. I want a long one. Word you never thought I'd say, but there you go. I'm trying to see what will fit in this space. To someone special, will that fit in? These are the Just Saying Rustic sentiments. Oh, it does. Just Saying Rustic. Someone special. I need to stamp it towards the end. To someone special. Fabulous. So just so you know, in case you are going for the tropical paint set, broken china is almost, in fact, look at that, look, it's almost the perfect match. In fact, I'm going to say it is. I'm going to say it is. Do you know what it is? Are you logged in as yourself, Mill, or as the Sentimentally yours? I think that makes a difference. I can do them. Wait for the comments. I'm not sure what I said, Patricia. So I must have said it without thinking. The links are working for Karen. I can see them. Oh no, it says sent. It's not actually working for you. But I can do it on Facebook. Can you do a stamp for Happy Diwali? But do you know what, Louise? I have lots of people asking me for that, so I think I'm going to add it. It's too late for the next ones because they're already finished. But I promise you I'll put it in my book. Right, let's get this card put together. So let's just check how much space I've got. So I need to snip a little bit off the end of this. And this is going on foam tape. I'm not glittering it or anything. There's enough bling going on with the frame. Oh, this stuff hates me just lately. Hang on. I'm just fighting with the tube of pin flare. I'm not wasting this much. Right. It doesn't help that it's roasting in my room. So we're coming down about 6 inches. And I just want it raised just a little bit higher than the frame. And then we'll bring the flowers in. Can I just show you this as well? Because these are the watery backgrounds we did from the waste. Look at that. How beautiful is that? So I could have recreated this card using the waste. And then we'll get the flowers on. So this is when it all starts to come together. So we'll put the two biggest ones. So these are all relatively small flowers, but the two biggest ones are going on first, and they're going to cover the end of the. They're going to cover the end of the thingy for me. The glue gel is melting. So that one's going there. That one's going at the side of it. Yeah, lovely colour palette this, everybody. You chose well. So let's just show you that. Look at the shimmer we've got on there, the sheen. So pretty. And then we're going to cascade. So I'm going to do this in order just because it's how I am. And although I did have them I had them laid out earlier before we started, but clearly I've moved things around. So what we're going to do is we're going to cascade these flowers down. And we're mixing up singles and doubles. Singles and doubles. I'm not very good at drinking, am I? That's better. So by mixing up singles and doubles, it just makes the card a little bit lighter. Not for postage, but for the overall effect. So a single and a double for the top part. And have no fear for where I've left gaps. You'll see why in a minute. Oh, I was lucky. I've just wiped this because it's annoying me, this little bit of glue gel. So working my way down, I've only got 4 more of these to put on, and then 5, and then the stamens. So the stamens are going in the little gaps. So we're going to have a double about there, single, 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 single. Stamens are going in next, so the stamens are going in the gaps. They're obviously not stamens tonight, they're extra little flowers. Colours are lovely, aren't they? I would never normally choose these 2 colours, as you know. It would have been lime. I would have chosen lime with the ocean mist. I need to pinch one of these back. Can I pinch any of them back? No, I can't. So we'll save a stamen. We'll save a stamen. I need something for the end of there. So I'm just making the glue on the stamens high, so that I can tuck them in. You can see how warm it is, the glue is just melting. I really need to get a fancy aircon thing for my craft room. And I promise you, it's not just the glue gel that's melting. I am as well. Oh, I wonder if Nigel got me any glue gel from Auntie Christine. Right, so a stamen. Stamen. I'm just tucking them in between, look. Pink one. Oops. Flip. Flip. And stamen. Right. Honestly, it's a good job I don't swear. I have got sweaty twiddly bits. 7, Jean, how rude. Right, I'm saving that little stamen, that little for the end there. The little white flowers are going on at the very end. What's going in next is the foliage. So you can see at the minute it's quite colour heavy. So although these are very pretty colours, it is colour heavy. So it does need the plain whiteness from the foliage and the twiddly bits. Now, if you are really mad on glitter, you can obviously add your glitter to these, but I think there's enough from the border. Now as soon as you start putting the foliage in, look, the very first one, it's covered some of that background up, which is perfect. Just bring that out a bit. Next one. So I'm starting with the 3 fronds, which are the biggest of the foliage, and they're going towards the centre of the card because that's where most of the bigger flowers are. So we've got one pointing up. We're going to have another one pointing up outside the card. Yeah, that's perfect. You can see already, look, as soon as you start putting the white bits on, it makes a huge difference. Do not miss out on the rounded corner DL dies, because you'll be kicking yourself if you miss out on them. Two more leaves. Oops, I've just battered that one. Thought we'd got off lightly. We are nearly done, so if you're getting bored, don't panic. I'm nearly done. Just details. Just details. And now we've got the twiddly bits. So the twiddly bits now can be tucked in between where we've got spacers. Now I had a rough idea where I wanted these. Yeah, so I'm going to snip the bottom off that. Put this one in first. I don't know whether you've noticed, for those of you that have got your twiddly bits and everything home, I don't know whether you've noticed that some of them have got dots at the end for you to put your pearls on, and some of them have got hearts. So you've got 2 different choices. So down, up. Obviously I'm not very good at less is more, So down and up. Got to go under there. Down and up. Now we've got 3 more covered in glue gel, which is driving me mad. So I want one that's facing down for this part. That's facing down. One that's facing up for the bottom. And then I just need one more with the little white flowers on, and then we are done. This one's going at the bottom of the card. Better. Got a little white flower and a stamen to go on the end of the sentiment. Oops, poor thing. I'll use that one then. We are almost. Why did I not just do what I know works? So the stamen's going on first. I saved one of these for the end of the sentiment. Saved one of the little white flowers for the end of the sentiment. Don't do this, by the way, everybody. It's frivolous and it's a waste because most of that's going to go in the bin. I've got my little swirl twiddly bit for the end of there. And then I've got 3 little white flowers that are going to create a flower tower on top of some of these to take some of the colour away. So I can see I want one there. I want one down here where that gap is. And where do I want the last one? Let me just have a quick look. Oh, it's very pretty, this card. Yeah, and where that's going. That's going just on there. And we are done. You could even use them bits, look. Well, I think I will. Well, we could have used all these little farty bits, look. Stop, Phil. Stop. Stop, stop. But I can't. I'm going to stop. Because I'll just get... But just don't throw them bits away because they are quite pretty to tuck underneath. So I know that was a frivolous waste of glue gel, but it was just quicker. And there we go. So tonight we've used our metallic paints for a change, and do you know what? I have so enjoyed using it. And I'll quickly just show you what the 5 tropical paints look like together. Where's the other one? I've got one missing. Which one's missing? How bizarre is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, I can't even show you. Where's the paint pot gone I've been using? No, the one that's missing is lime. I must have put it back in the pot. Anyway, let's have a closer look at the card. So you know I'm going to just faff just for a second, just so I can poke these things up, because I like them poking up. But what a lovely change from using my favourite chalk is to using the metallics. Let's just do a close-up so you can see. It's actually not bad, so I reckon you could possibly get that in an envelope. So we've got the background there created with the beautiful Fanfare stencil and the hot pink and ocean mist metallic paints. All the colour from the flowers. So these are the same two colours, look, on the flowers. But they look completely different, don't they? How gorgeous is that? And it's quite nice to have the white centres of the flowers for a change. I just fancied doing that just for a change. And then I'm probably making you feel a bit seasick. But the balance now with the glitter look, it's almost like I know what I'm talking about. But the balance with the glitter around the edge and the inside of the aperture with no glitter on the flowers actually works really, really well. And there you go. Do you know what? I think I might start giving my cards away again, the ones I make on the lives. Do you want me to quickly show you these samples that I did on TV, the cards that I made on TV? Because I brought them in to photograph, so I might just quickly show you. I did take photographs from the studio, but you know I'm rubbish at photos. Isn't that lovely? So easy to do as well. Super easy to do. You can see all that gorgeous shimmer as well. Karen, did your links work on Facebook after all that, or shall I do it? In fact, I'm going to do it before I go. I'm going to give you the links because I need you to get the tropical metallic paint set. And I also need you to desperately, if you can, get the rounded corner DL dies before they've gone. So I've just popped the link on for the paints. Yep, so the link for the paints is on Facebook, and I'm just going to pop it on YouTube as well, again, just in case anybody's watching retrospectively. And let's just get you the link for the... I've got the wrong glasses on, it's no wonder I can't see anything. Notice no butterflies were harmed during the making of this card either. I'm going to find you the rounded corner slender dies, because they're going to be gone. Oh, they've gone already. I do apologise, everybody. The rounded corner DL dies have sold out and gone. Should we have any more stock, you might need to phone the shop, because I knew they would go. So I'm just going to pop the shop phone number on for you, and you can maybe try ringing the shop after 12 tomorrow and see if they've got any in the warehouse anywhere. But there you go. So thank you very much, everybody. I am now going to make myself a fresh coffee. Oh, let's do a giveaway. I've not done one forever. I keep forgetting. Chrissy, Jean, Emma, you need to remind me when I'm doing the lives, not the sneaky peek ones, but the one in between, like tonight. Remind me to do the giveaways, because I keep forgetting. And I can't do them afterwards because YouTube. Let me show you this now. Look. This was from this to this, from silver to pink mirror, using the metallic paints. How fab is that? Let's just see if it wipes off. Look at that, everybody. It doesn't even wipe off. I didn't even know that myself, but that is a bit of a Brucey bonus, isn't it? Anyway, let's do a giveaway. We'll do the stencil. So if you win the stencil and you've already bought it, just let... Thanks, Chrissy. Just let Karen know. So let me do all the normal stuff, because I keep forgetting all this as well. For those of you who are new to us, if you haven't yet joined our Facebook group, please do come and join us there. We're as daft over there as we are on the lives. Some of us are a bit dafter. But there you go. So just search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours and ask to join the group. You do need to answer a couple of questions. If you don't answer the questions, it will automatically decline your membership request. Please also make sure you have liked and followed our Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. If you're watching on there tonight, then I'm assuming you've already followed, but please do check and join us if you haven't yet. We've also got the shop Facebook page, don't forget, which is Honeypot Crafts. We've got my TikTok, which I need to get back into the habit of doing that. So TikTok, Phill M. Martin. And the YouTube channel, if you haven't yet, I really would appreciate you liking the video, thumbs up on the video, and subscribing. We are live every Monday evening on YouTube, and then obviously videos in between. And is that it? Have I forgot anything? I think that's it. Right, so we're going to do the giveaway. So we'll do YouTube first. So good luck, everybody. If your name is drawn as the winner of one of the stencils that I've used tonight, you need to leave me a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with your name and address, and just a little reminder of what you've won, which is the beautiful fanfare stencil, which looks amazing in that packet. There you go. So it's the stencil that I've used tonight, and they're the waste bits, look. Right, so all the way to the top of the comments. Good luck, everybody on YouTube. Let's do you first. I have to do somebody first, so here we go. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Remember, this is just random. It's just wherever my mouse stops. I'm not looking at anybody's name. So my mouse has landed on Christine Baker. Christine's in Canada. So Christine Baker, congratulations. You've won yourself one of my little stencils. Well, little, it's a 6x6 inch one. So you need to make sure you've followed and liked the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, and send us a private inbox message with your name and address, and just a little reminder that you've won the stencil. So congratulations, and thank you everybody on the tube. I will see you live next Monday evening. Phill Flower. What have I forgot? I forgot. Anyway, so let's just do the winner on Facebook. So good luck to everybody on the Facebook. Let me get all the way to the top of the comments, just so it's fair to everybody. Scroll, 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 scroll. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Right, here we go. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Oh, I can't win, unfortunately. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. So my mouse has landed on Amanda Mitchell. So congratulations, Amanda. You've won one of the stencils. You know the drill now. I've just repeating myself. Private message, Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, name and address, and a reminder that you've won the stencil from tonight. So thank you very much, everybody. Go and get your paints ordered. And you can't get the dye anymore unless we've got any at the shop. But there you go. At least I've forewarned you. So thanks, everybody. I will... catch you all on cards made on Hobby Maker. Deirdre, well done. Let me just grab them. I forgot. Oh, did I bring them in here? I thought I did. Bear with me. They might still be in my trolley. Hang on a sec. Got them here. So this is obviously the one that I made last Monday night, the one that we made on the release of Floral Finery 3. So you've seen that one. The video for that is obviously still on the YouTube channel from last Monday's live. And then these are the ones that have survived. There's one, I think there's one that I slung somewhere. if they're not very good when I finished them. They don't get shown. So this was my first demo. This was using obviously the new Floral Finery 3 in its splendour with the stamens, and this is the one where I painted, watercoloured the centre of the flowers with the Stormy Sky ink. And this is Stormy Sky, watered down, blah blah blah. So that's one. There should be another card somewhere, but I don't know where I've put it. This was my second demo. I will take photos of these, or Karen will. I loved making this. The colours are just so pretty. This was the second one. Yeah, using the twiddly bits, using all the new Floral Finery that's got a bit battered actually because it's been in the little case. And that's with the stitch torn octagon dies look. So that's the second one I made. And I love this one. I think this is my favourite. This was the one where I used anti-linen and scattered straw for this card, and I absolutely love this combination. So the difference, excuse me, I'm choking. The difference between anti-linen and scattered straw is really, really subtle. But this colour combination, everybody, is just beautiful. So that was obviously, you can see they've got flattened a bit while I've had them in the plastic sleeves. But they were the 3 cards that I made. There's another one somewhere, but I can't find it, which means I probably didn't like it and I've slung it. But there you go. They're not quick. I'm not very good at quick demos, as you know, on TV, but there you go. I'll try and take photos of these in the morning. If not, Karen will do it, and then I'll post them as soon as I get a chance. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed that live tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed using the metallic paints. All that is Floral Finery 3. How gorgeous is that little display there, eh? Anyway, I'm going to go and get a coffee. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will catch up with you. What day is it today? We should have a live on... Oh, no. We won't be live on Thursday night because it's my birthday. I'm out. So I might do Friday night, but I will let you know, see how much time I've got left. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will catch up with you as soon as I possibly can. Thanks again. Bye. Thank you for watching. This has been a Sentimentally Yours.